To all the educators looking for ways to boost student engagement, ever wished how you could turn your lectures into engaging podcasts without the technology headache? We know students learn better when they are engaged. And podcasts, they are huge in education right now. But who has the time to record, edit, and produce them? And that's where Google Notebook LM comes in. This AI tool is a game changer for busy educators. Imagine uploading your notes, yes, even audio files work, and getting back a ready to go podcast. Notebook LM turns your content into a dynamic conversation between two hosts. It's like having your own personal teaching assistant, making complex topic easy to digest for your students. This tool is built for educators by educators, no tech skills needed. Let me show you how easy it is. So let me show you the audio file that I have. This is the audio file I have. Now this is coming straight from my phone. Now typically on iPhone, with the voice note, it does not give me MP3. It gives me an M4A. So you can use any free app online, but what I usually do is that I take it to Adobe Audition, and I just export a highly compressed, lower file, small file size file. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is Adobe Audition, and let me import the file, or I can just drag and drop. I mean, in this case, I'm just going to drag and drop. So this is my audio file, and if I open it, and you'll see that the audio levels are pretty okay. I mean, it's not really shooting up or too much down. Sometimes the audio level is low, so then I boost the audio. But otherwise, I think this is pretty good. But a lot of noise. I mean, so what I usually do, I also remove the noise. Now, this is again not for people who don't understand this particular software, but I do. So I can very easily remove this noise. I can select it, go to effects, go to noise reduction and restoration, choose capture noise print. So it will capture the noise print. I'll go to noise reduction and go to noise reduction process. And then I can actually apply this noise reduction to the entire audio clip. And this is how it sounds finally. So the first most important thing when you begin your article is, it's pretty good actually. I think remove pretty much everything from the noise. So I'll apply it. And you'll see instantly that this is going to look different immediately. Now, this is almost a 45 minutes lecture. And this is a full feedback. So you can see it's so much better. Establish that more. So it's much cleaner, much better. So now I'm going to export this. I'm going to export it into an MP3. So I'll choose from here. I'll choose MP3 and I'll just, and it's 43 MB, right? If I want to reduce the file size more, I can change, the other specification. But I think this is pretty decent. For a 45 minutes lecture, I think this is pretty decent. So I'm going to just click on OK, and it's going to export. Now, while it is exporting, let me show you how Google Notebook LLM looks like. So here it is. This is how it looks like. If you click on Try Notebook LLM, so you can see I already have some existing notebooks. So I'm going to create a new one. So the moment I create a new notebook, it's asking me to upload files. Now the best thing is that I can actually upload an audio file as well. As you can see, it says MP3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload the entire lecture recording that I've done. And it's basically a feedback of me to my students on the blog submission that they did. So I'm going to click on Choose Files. I'm going to go to my folder, which is this one. And I'm going to go to my lecture notes. And here it is. That is the MP3 file I just made, 45 MB. I'm going to click on Open. And now it's going to process. So let's wait for the whole processing to finish, and then we will see how we can create a podcast straight out of my lecture notes. So as you can see, this is what it shows. It instantly gives me like a small summary of what my briefing to my students are all about. And you can see I can ask questions, and these are giving me some suggested questions. But the real fun is right here. It says deep dive conversation, and you can customize it, by the way. I can click on customize, and I can actually tell Notebook LLM what to focus on. Okay, so I can ask what should the AI host focus on. So I can say please focus on the exact feedback to the students on their blog submission, and keep the discussion focused towards making their next submission better. You can give it any information you want so that at least it would know what to look for and accordingly customize your podcast. So I'm going to just click on generate now and let's wait for it to finish. And once it finishes, I will make you hear what it did with the podcast. So here it is, the podcast conversation between two bots talking about my feedback to my students on my last assignment.
All right, so let's dive into this feedback on your first blog submissions.
Yeah,
We've got a lot to unpack here.
lots to talk about.
I'm really excited to see how we can use these comments to make your next blog post even better.
It's fascinating how much thought went into this feedback.
Yeah.
It really dives deep into like all the little details that make a good blog.
Yeah.
You know, from grabbing readers' attention to making sure that the information is presented in a way that's clear and engaging.
Absolutely. And he starts right off the bat with something that's super important.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the most glamorous part of writing.
Right.
SEO.
Yeah. Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization.
So in terms of the flow, it catches right to the heart of the feedback that I gave to my students. And I usually upload and share my entire recording. There are some students in my class who have learning difficulty, and I kind of always make sure that they have this recording so they can actually look at it later, just a sound recording. But after ChatGPT came, I kind of started giving them summary, some key points from the recording, and now I have a podcast. I mean, just imagine the possibilities that it will open up for you to pretty much talk about anything which is very complex, and the students can just go through it again in a podcast format, and that to which sounds so incredibly real, just like a conversation. And all this is absolutely free. As an educator, I think Notebook LM has huge potential, and I can't wait to see how we can use it in many creative ways, which ultimately helps our students. This will transform how you connect with your students. So just drop in a comment and tell us how you're going to use Notebook LM in your classroom. I'll be very much interested to know.